What's going on, everyone out there in YouTube land? I am finally back from my little mini vacation. I was down in New Orleans and Alabama. It was kind of a mini vacation. We went down for the shop event that Andrew has at his Southside Vaporium shop. Hanging out with Mike, Brian, Daniel, ST, Phenom, everybody. Had a lot of fun. We did a lot of stuff. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you've seen all the live feeds. I went live like twice a day. And we did a little quick live thing on Sunday. Had a lot of fun. And got back yesterday. And today we're getting back into full force. I got a bunch of products for you guys. I might be a little rusty since I haven't done this in almost a week now. So, yeah. Anyways, we're going to check out a new device, a newly updated device coming from SMOK. It is a touchscreen device. This is the Priv version 2. This is the kit that includes the X-Baby Beast tank. And at the moment, I got the X-Baby Beast on top of here, 82 watts, and I got a mixture of the loaded jelly donut and the loaded cookie butter. Mixed them together. Got it loaded up inside of here, and yeah, let's have a vape, shall we? Now, the Priv 2 was sent over directly by SMOK for the purpose of this review. If you guys are looking to pick one up after the video, I will have some links posted in the description. Now, I did find this over in the US, over at elementvape.com. They're asking $99.95 for the complete kit. If you guys don't mind the longer ship times and you want to buy out of China, you can find it in China. I priced it at around $82 over at Vape Sourcing. Now, after searching on Google, I did see a few vendors that carried just the mod itself and not the complete kit. Not very familiar with the vendors, but if you do search around, you can find just the mod itself. Let's have an up-close look at the new Priv 2 kit. This one coming from SMOK. Presentation box, very typical SMOK packaging. Nothing really changed there. Little information on the back as far as what's included inside the kit. Inside the box, you guys are going to get the Priv 2 device. And this is the rainbow colored one, as you can see there. Along with the device, if you purchase the kit, they're going to include the TF V8 Big Baby Beast X tank. Am I saying that correctly? Yes, the X Baby Beast or Big Baby Beast X. And depending on the color device, depends on the color tank you get. You'll get a coil head pre-installed, and they will include an additional coil head. Along with the coil head, they're going to include some O-rings and a top fill grommet. Along with the tank, you're going to get a spare glass tank. They'll also include some tank bands. You'll get a silicone sleeve for the device itself, and I'll show you guys what this looks like in a moment on the device. They're going to include a micro USB data and charging cable. And last up, you're going to get some documentation, which will include a battery safety card, warranty card, and a user manual. The Priv 2 measures 85 millimeters tall, 52 millimeters wide, and 27.3 millimeters thick. It is constructed of a zinc alloy body. Does have a really nice weight to it. Here's a look at the device with the silicone sleeve in place. And the Priv 2 is actually available in a few different color options, and I'll toss those up on the screen right about now. Starting at the top, we do have an all stainless steel 510 connection. Down in the center, a spring-loaded, gold-plated 510 pin. Now, this device does have a little bit of a curve on the front right there, as you can tell. And the provided tank measures 24.5 millimeters in diameter, and it fits perfectly on top. Let's screw down to 25 millimeter and see what it looks like if we get any overhang with a 25 millimeter Kennedy RDA. As you can see, it does sit nice and flush. And yeah, we have no overhang with a 25. Along the side is going to be your lock switch and your screen lock switch. And then we're going to have your firing switch. The screen lock button, very small button, and you will not confuse it with the firing switch because we have a nice, large, lever-style firing switch. The same button that's found on the original Priv version 1. Nice, clicky, and responsive. It does require a little bit of pressure or force to actually push it. And it doesn't feel cheap. Got a nice solid click to it. I've had no issues with it. No misfires. And the screen lock button right there does stick out just enough so that way when you run your finger across it, you can feel it. and you can remember to lock the screen before you start vaping. So that way, if you hold a device like this, your hand is not going to accidentally adjust the wattage or, you know, jump into the settings mode. So I think the screen lock button right here was a really nice touch. At the bottom of the device, we're going to have some battery ventilation along with a micro USB port. We can charge over USB, and we also have firmware updates over USB. On the back of the device is going to be your battery door. We do have a carbon fiber kind of wrap on the back right here. On the front is going to be your super large OLED touchscreen display, and they are advertising this as a shatter resistant display, and we might actually test that theory out in a moment. But the display on the Priv 2, just like the version 1, is beautiful looking, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I turn the device on, you'll see this display is just beautiful. Very easy to read. Even outdoors, it's really nice to read. And we'll jump into the menu in a moment. As far as your wattage adjustment buttons, since it is touchscreen, all your adjustment will be done, you know, with the touch of your finger. As far as any battery rattle or button rattle, I can let you guys know this is a solid device. There is absolutely no button rattle or battery rattle. We have some really strong magnets holding on the battery door. There's a little notch cut out here at the bottom. Pop open your battery door. We're going to have 4 very large magnets, which is really nice. The back side of the door has the same wrap as the front. Dual 18650s, as always, and we do have a battery strap to help you remove those nice, tightly fit batteries. Pop them out. There's going to be your battery tray. They're actually using the white indicators. It's not black on black, so it's much easier to read this time around. And we do have your gold-plated spring-loaded contacts at the bottom. Nice, firm springs, so once again, your batteries are nice and tight. Having a look at the screen and some of the menu features, you'll see that we have the menu button at the top. We got your dual battery indicators. We have a puff timer, the wattage you have it set for, the boost that you have it set for. I currently have it set for normal. We're going to have a puff counter, the amps, the voltage, and the resistance of your coil. So to adjust the wattage, once again, everything's touchscreen, so just take your finger and just put it over here and you can adjust it. You can actually drag your finger across the wheel and it will adjust it much faster. Up here at the top is going to be your menu button. Click on that, and then you can dive into variable wattage mode. You can adjust the wattage to preheat. You could adjust the boost, which is nice. Set it for hard. There we go. Go back to the menu. We have your TC mode. This is where you're going to adjust all your temperature control. You got titanium, nickel, stainless steel. You got your preheat, TCR settings, all the usual stuff. Go back into the menu. Down here we got some screen adjustment. You could adjust the color of the actual screen, which is kind of nice. The screen timeout. Go back to the menu. We're going to have your puff counter. This will allow you to reset your puffs and, you know, all your puff information. If we go back to the main screen, there we go. What you want to keep in mind and remember is this lock button right here on the side. This comes in very handy. And you'll notice at the top right here, you don't notice a lock symbol. So if I just touch the screen wherever, you know, it starts, you know, reacting to my touch. But if you hit that lock button, if you hit it once, it's going to turn the screen off. So when you're vaping, you don't have to worry about touching the screen and you could still vape. Or you have the option of holding it down and now the screen is locked. The screen is still on, but you can't adjust anything. So that way when you're vaping it and you're touching the screen with your hand, you're not going to accidentally adjust the wattage and crank it all the way up to 230 watts. And then if you want to lock the device, so that way it doesn't fire on you, 1, 2, 3 of the firing switch will lock the device. Now you can't fire it. 1, 2, 3 will unlock it. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you can actually power the device on or off. Now the new Priv 2 is actually much smaller than the previous Priv 1, so if you guys didn't like the girthiness of the original one, the new one is much smaller. Comparing it next to 2 other touchscreen devices, we have the new SMOK touchscreen, which is a dual 18650. You could see the Priv is actually a little bit shorter, and of course it's not as wide, and it doesn't seem to be as thick as the SMOK. If we compare it next to the older Laissimo dual 18650 touchscreen, you'll see the Laissimo, of course, is much taller. The width is about the same. The thickness, the Lysimo seems a little bit thinner, but at the moment, I think the Priv 2 is actually one of the smallest dual 18650 touchscreens on the market. Now, if you purchase the kit, they're going to include the TFV8X Baby Beast tank, and the difference here is we now have top airflow on the X series. Now, I already reviewed this before, so we're not going to get too much into it, but they will include the large wide bore Delrin drip tip. Nothing has really changed there. Of course, we have top fill, just like all the other Beast tanks. That swivel top. Now we have top airflow control, dual air slots on each side, adjustable airflow control ring, and we do have stopping points on there. 4 ml juice capacity, and remember they do include the extra glass tank, and they will include 2 coil heads. You'll get a 0.4 ohm coil and a 0.25 ohm coil. And just a closer look at the coil heads, they are using the X-Baby Turbo Engine coils. These coil heads actually put out some really good flavor. And just give you a quick peek, they are using stainless steel wire, Japanese organic cotton on the inside. And overall, these newer coil heads actually put out some really good flavor. Alright folks, so we're going to test out this shatter-resistant glass. Now, I'm not sure if this is plastic or glass. I didn't ask SMOK, but it feels like glass. So what we're going to do is just drop it on the floor a few times. We're going to see how it holds up. I don't have the silicone case in place, but yeah, let's just drop it a few times and see what happens. Now, of course, the door did pop off. That's expected. Let's try that again. So far, so good, right? Yeah, so far, so good. Let's try it again. And the screen is holding up. So far, so good. I think I have it locked, or I have the screen off. I was dropping it about waist high. Let's do it about chest high, and let's see if that front holds up. Wow, that thing is heavy. As you guys can see, the batteries are still in place. I just have to pop them in a little bit, but the batteries, man, they're in there strong. And yep, device still working. The screen is not cracked whatsoever. So this thing actually is pretty damn durable. All right, so I got the Blazer sub-ohm tank sitting on top of here, and this is the tank that I use to do all my testing on these higher wattage devices. It's not very accurate, but you know, it does work. So I got it screwed down on here, 230 watts, and I was testing it off camera, comparing it to a DNA 250. I can tell you that it doesn't feel like 230 watts. Even with the boost cranked all the way up to max, it doesn't feel like 230. The good thing is, though, you don't notice it until you go above like 180. It seems pretty accurate up to about 180, and anything over 180, it just, you know, it doesn't feel like it's pushing that 200 or 230 watts. Now, it's going to be plenty of enough power for like 99.9% of the people out there. But once again, if you're looking for 230 watts for some strange reason, I don't believe it's doing 230 watts. But it's satisfying enough for me, so I'm not going to complain about it. So I got the Blazer on top of here, 230 watts. Let's have a quick vape, and then we'll dive into the pros and cons. So pro number 1, this is a solid, well-built device. Feels real good in the hands, got a nice weight to it. It is smaller than the previous one, which is a bonus. The finish is the same as the previous one, but it does seem nice and durable. We did drop it 3 times. The screen didn't crack, the paint didn't chip off, and it does come in a variety of color options, so I will give it a thumbs up for that. The next pro, it looks good with atomizers up to 25 millimeters. Anything over 25, of course, we're going to have a little bit of overhang. The next pro is going to be the touchscreen. Very well done touchscreen. They didn't get too crazy with the graphics. It doesn't look cheesy. It performs well. When you touch it, it actually goes into that setting. And the lock button right here, we had it on the previous one also, but this is the key to a touchscreen right here. Some devices will lack this button, and if you don't have this lock button and you go to vape and you got your hand on it, you're going to grab your mod and it's going to crank all the way up to 230 watts. So it is nice that we have this button right here, very important button. But overall, they did a great job on the touchscreen, so I will give it a thumbs up for that. The next pro is the included tank, the X-Baby Beast. If you guys were a fan of the Baby Beast series, you're going to love this one because the airflow's on the top, which means we're not going to get any leaking whatsoever. And these new coil heads actually, I think, have really good flavor. I've gotten no dry hits. We got a nice kind of restricted vape. It's not as wide open as you would think, but it's got some restriction to it, which pulls in that liquid and feeds those coils pretty quick, which results in no dry hits. So the flavor, the vape, everything about the X Baby I completely love. So thumbs up for that. The X Pro USB port at the bottom. It's not in view, and we have USB charging and firmware updates, which is a bonus. We'll give it a thumbs up for that. And the last pro is the fact that it does perform well in power mode and temperature mode. It's not accurate. It doesn't do 230 watts, but it does perform really well. Let's talk about a few of the cons that I have. Now, the first con, of course, is the fact that it doesn't feel like it's doing the true 230 watts. Like I always say, I think these companies should start just putting the true wattage on the box. No one cares about how high of a wattage it can go. Like, oh, it does 250, oh, it does 280. We don't care about that. We much rather have the true wattage. So this one feels like 180, which is going to be enough for pretty much everyone out there. But still, they advertise 230, and it's not 230, so we will give it a con for that. And the next con, and the last con, is we don't have any screen adjustment or brightness adjustment in the settings. Being a touchscreen, I think touchscreens really need a brightness control. Now, it's a good-looking screen. It's bright. You could see it outdoors, but if you get in direct sunlight, it does get dim, and I just wish we had a brightness control so we can make this thing really bright, because this screen really does pop. It may not look that good on camera, but if we had the option to crank up the brightness to make it look really good outdoors, and then when you're inside, you could turn it down, but we don't have the option, so I will give it a con for that. All right, guys, so that's pretty much going to be it for the review. Now, they did send over 2 extras, so we will be doing a giveaway for 2 of these. I think I have, what is this, blue? The blue one and the rainbow one that I showed you guys in the up close. You'll get the complete kit. And all you guys got to do to get in on the giveaway is make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. Very important. Like the video and comment below. In the comment section, tell me what you like or what you dislike about touchscreen devices. What do you like about them, or what do you hate about them? Leave your comment in the comment section, like the video. Once we hit 500 likes, we'll announce 2 winners for 2 of the G-Priv 2 kits. All right? So that's pretty much it, guys. That's all I got for you today. If you have any comments or questions, please feel free to leave them below. Please like, share, and subscribe. I'll talk to everyone very, very soon. Make sure you guys build safe and vape on.